It started with one man stumbling down a street in Memphis, Tennessee, eyes wide open, but nobody home. And within 72 hours, five major American cities were on fire. This is not a movie. This is not a drill. This is a story of the day America broke and the people who tried to hold it together. Stay with me because the twist at the end, nobody saw it coming, not even me. All right, let's go back to the beginning, day one. The Tuesday, the late October, Memphis, Tennessee. A 34 years old sanitation worker named Marcus Webb is doing his road. Like any other morning, his co-workers were he seemed fine at 6 a.m., cracking jokes, drinking coffee, complaining about his fantasy football picks. By 9 a.m., Marcus is standing at the middle of the Union Avenue, not moving, not blinking, just standing there. A police officer, Daniel Revis, pulls up the check on him. And here, what she told the emergency dispatcher, I need you to really listen to this. He looked at me, not through me, not past me. He looked at me, and I never felt more afraid in my entire career. She called for backup, and the Marcus beat her. This is where the story gets real dark, real fast. Within the first 24 hours, 17 people in Memphis reported the same symptoms: sudden complete loss of speech, glass stare, extreme aggression. When approached, the CDC called it acute behavioral shock syndrome, which honestly sounds like something they made up in a conference room at 2 a.m. to avoid saying what everybody was already thinking. Social media exploded. TikTok videos of the Memphis workers hit 40 million views before the platform could take them down. Cable news has calling it a mass psychosis event. Twitter, sorry, X was calling it something far worse. And you know what the official government response was? No, no, no. On day one, a press release. A press release. We are monitoring the situation and urge calm. That's what 330 million Americans got. Meanwhile, Officer Reeves is in the Memphis hospital room quarantined, and her partner officer Troy Simmons hasn't heard from her in the 6 hours. But here's where I need you to pause for a second, because what happened next in Nashville, the Chicago, Detroit. That's when the story stopped being a local news story and becoming something America had never seen before. By hours 48, the pattern was clear. Every outbreak was centered within 3 blocks of a major water treatment facility: Memphis, Nashville, Chicago, Detroit, and then Los Angeles. Scientists real legitimate published scientists started quietly posting an academic forms. This isn't a psychosis, this is neurological, and it's a waterborne. And a virologist at the University of Chicago named Dr. Priya Nair published a 4-page rapid analysis paper at 3:47 a.m. in the morning, citing a muted strain of a previous unknown pathogen had the ability to cross the blood-brain barrier within hours of ignition. She titled her paper, and I promise I'm not making this up. We are we are not ready. The paper got 2 million downloads in 18 hours. Then it disappeared from the internet. The National Guard was deployed. Curfew were imposed, and in Washington D.C. an emergency sessions of Congress was called, but three of the senators were supported to attend never showed up. Their officials said they were unavailable. Their staff said they hadn't been since the previous evening, and one junior AD, speaking anonymously to the journalist, said, and this is a part that kept me up at night. I saw Senator Harris in the morning. He was in his office. He was sitting at his desk. He was staring at the wall. And when I said his name, he turned around and his eyes were wrong. And the virus wasn't just in water anymore, it was in the Capitol. We are be right back, and welcome back. If you are still here, good, because this is where ordinary people stopped waiting for the government to save them. In Detroit, a 19 years old nursing student named Aaliyah Washington started a neighborhood production network using nothing but a burner phone and a group chat. Within 12 hours, she had 400 people organized into shifts, distributing bottled water, identified affected individuals, keeping families together. She called it the White Army. In Chicago, retired Army medic named Charles Ruiz set up a field tried station in the church basement. He hadn't slept in 36 hours. When a reporter asked him why he was doing it, he said, and I want you to be really hear this, because somebody has to. And if not me, then who? There wasn't soldiers, there wasn't scientists, there was just Americans, terrified, exhausted, grieving, chosen to show up anyway. And while Aaliyah was organizing her block and Charles was treating her neighbors, a federal memo was being circulated, clarified, but later leaked, recommended that certain urban areas be written off and unrecoverable and contained rather than cleared. They were talking about writing of Detroit, writing of South Chicago, writing of the neighborhoods where Alia and Carlos and thousands of people just like them were fighting to survive. The memo was signed by someone in the Office of Homeland Security and it was approved. I want you to sit with that for a second. Now, here's where the real question comes and where the story takes a first major turn. Dr. Pia Nair, the virologist whose paper disappeared from the internet, didn't disappear herself. She went underground, and 6 days after the outbreak began, she resurfaced with something extraordinary. The pathogen wasn't natural. The generic sequence showed markers constantly with laboratory synthesis, specific, deliberate, engineered modifications to maximize blood-brain barrier penetration and minimize early symptom detection. In other words, it wasn't nature, it was a weapon. And the water treatment facility connection, every single affected facility had undergone a routine infrastructure upgrade in the preceding 90 days, all by the same private contractor, a company called Vadian Systems, a company that, according to public SEC filings, has received 2.3 billion in federal contractors for the past 4 years. But there is the twist: nobody, and I mean nobody, was appeared for. Alia Washington's neighborhood production network, the Quiet Army. In the chaos of day 6, she discovered something in her own building maintenance room. A Faltrian unit, brand new, still in the box, stamped with a Vadian Systems logo. It has never been installed. Her building was one of the only residential complex in her zip code without a single confirmed case, because someone, and we still don't know who, has deliberately ensured that her building never received that upgrade. Someone new, and someone chose to protect this building, this one neighborhood, and the only person connected to both Alia building and the Vadian Systems, her late father, a low-level systems engineer who died in a routine workplace accident 4 months before the outbreak. He left her a voicemail that night he died. She would never listen to it. Too painful. On day 6, she finally pressed play. All we know is what she told Charlos afterwards, sitting in the church basement, hand shaking. He knew everything, and he tried to warn somebody, but they got to him first. And you know what? Day by 10, by day 10, a combination of emergency water purification and Dr. Knight's rapid development antigen protocol has slowed the spread in 4 of the 5 cities. Los Angeles renamed under full lockdown. The Vadian Systems headquarters in Arlington, Virginia was raided by federal agents on day 12. Its CEO, a man named Richard Calloway, was arrested. He said nothing to reporters, not a word. And emotionally, officer Denali Revis survived. After 12 days in quarantine, she walked out of that Memphis hospital to her partner Troy waiting outside. He didn't say anything. He just hugged her. Aaliyah Washington testified before Congress 3 weeks later. She was 19 years old. She wore a navy blue blazer. She had slept maybe 4 hours in 2 weeks. And she said this: "You wrote us off, and we survived anyway. Not because of you, because of each other." I don't have TD ending for you. Real stories, even the one have feel like fiction, don't always come with neat bows. With what I will tell you is this: the systems were supposed to protect people failed, and the people who were never supposed to matter saved themselves. That's not a zombie story, that's America. So here what I want to know from you: if something like this actually happened, if that was in your city, was compromised if the government has already decided your neighborhood wasn't worth saving, what would you do? Drop in the comments. I read every single one. And if the story hits you the way I think I did, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you in the next one. Stay safe out there, for real. Thank you. Thanks for watching my video. Comment your opinion below and subscribe my channel. Thank you.